We hear a lot about the need to do regulation for flying beyond line of sight, too. I hear it from the power company wanting to look at power lines, for delivery, for firefighting. So I would encourage you to keep us posted and let us know how we can move forward more expeditiously with that as well. I'd like to ask Ms. Jack and Mr. Gibson, too, some more about the test sites. Well, we fought very hard for Nevada to be one of the test sites, and I know a lot of the work there with NASA is going on. But what I'm curious to know is how much you're using data that's gathered by what's happening at the test site to inform the regulatory or decision-making process at the federal level. Are we really taking advantage of that data that's being generated, or is it just going on a shelf somewhere?
Thank you for that question. At the Technical Center, we manage the agreements with the test sites, and there's a number of things that we have in place. For instance, on a quarterly basis and annually, they provide us the research results that they've accomplished in that quarter and for the year. Twice a year, we also have technical interchange meetings where they come and present what they have done. We, too, are using the test sites for a lot of our work, such as the UAS detection at airports work. And what the test sites are doing are collecting the flight data information as well as the research data and providing that information to the Technical Center. We pull it together. Like, for instance, there's been 8,000 flights since we started collecting that data, which was in 2015. So the areas of research have been from noise to detect and avoid, and quite a few critical infrastructure inspections. We talked about that. What we're doing with the research results is that we're pulling them together and making them available, particularly for the other test sites to be able to use it as a point of reference as they start doing their research.
Mr. Gibson?
Yeah. I concur with what Shelley stated. We continue, I think, to firm up our work with the test sites.
Good.
And as she mentioned, I know in the counter UAS piece that I've been working on, they've done all the support for that.
Great. Well, I'm glad to hear that. My other question that would just go to the panel generally is that the current administration seems to have the position that regulation is hurting innovation. They have this new policy that sounds like a happy hour special in my district of Las Vegas. You 2 for 1, you know, for every one new one, you got to get rid of 2 of the old ones. So I'm wondering if that's really a good policy when it comes to the kind of things that you all are working on as we try to move this industry forward. It's an arbitrary rule. Does that really make any sense? Anybody comment on that?
Ma'am, that's a very good question, and I think that, you know, when we look at what the net result of these regulations and for beyond visual line of sight that we were just talking about and other things, it's safe integration. And so I'm not really so much focused on 2 and what at or anything else. I'm more focused on what are smart and sound enabling regulations that can be implemented right now. And how do we get there? And I think that the way we do is what we were talking about before is let's take the things that are most pressing immediate needs, such as dealing with the safety and security issues, beyond line of sight, drone identification and tracking, and let's kind of solve for that. And that'll take care of us unlocking the next regulation, which is overflight over people. And then once we get that done, then we can start moving a little bit forward on future regulations. So I don't really see this as kind of an arithmetic formula as much as us staying kind of tight and connected and focusing on the most effective near-term enabling regulations.
Good. Anybody else want to comment? Okay, well, that's so much for the 2 for 1 then. Let's see if we can do it in a little more rational way. Thank you very much. I'll yield back.
Mr. Westerman.